So people walk through this space with many narratives going on, and somehow the main piece is this two big screen, synchronized one, and sometimes they connect their own narratives, in that. And this is at the Liverpool, and where you can see the music video greeting you in the entrance. And the color red is very important because during that time of the communists, red signify the communism, and sometimes the soldier raided your house and looking for anything of the red color. So sometimes even the textbook with the red cover was confiscated and burned. So this is how it was done in England. And this is the same show, but it's in Paris, so there's a little change. I introduce photographic work. And the idea of reincarnation. This is a text from the book of A Man Who Recalls His Past Life. And then this, when go back to during the trip, we found two of Bunmi's sons, and they didn't remember much about their father. They're old now, and this is the only photo of real Uncle Bunmi that we found. And funny thing is that he looked like my father. He looked similar to my father. And also he looked similar to Hu Shaoxian, I think. So I'm very inspired. So after all this installation, I start to make Uncle Bunmi. But it's more narrative film. But the idea of a ghost and memory is still there, from the drawings, from the comic books that we have. And the idea of dreams and escape. So so this is I like to show. We have not much time left, but maybe I can show some clip from some of the movie from the installation. The end of my presentation. With this, I wish I could say more. Thank you.
Στα ελληνικά, θα ήθελα να... Δεν ήμουν από την αρχή της παρουσίασης, δυστυχώς. Αλλά θα ήθελα να το ρωτήσω τι πιστεύει για το θέμα της μετενσάρκωσης. Γιατί κάποιοι άνθρωποι έχουν αυτές τις μνήμες. Γιατί, όπως ξέρουμε, αυτές οι μνήμες σβήνονται στην επόμενη ζωή. Αυτό, γιατί πιστεύετε ότι κάποιοι άνθρωποι μένουν αυτές οι μνήμες. Περίεργη ερώτηση.
Thank you. Maybe people who could remember was a defect of nature. Maybe because I believe that we erased, the memory were erased. For me, even meeting people who claim to remember past life, I still not sure if I can say 100% that I believe in reincarnation. But the idea was there. For people growing up in Thailand, we always have this kind of feelings that the coexistence between the nature and human and the invisible. Each tree has different spirit in each tree, and they also have different names. For example, I always give example like for Asia in general or Thai, India. We think that the head is the most sacred part, and the feet was a dirty part. And when I point the feet at you like this, if you Asian, you feel very mad, and I will feel very guilty. So I know it's nonsense, but I cannot check this out. That this feeling of guilt. Yeah. So the same with the reincarnation. It's there, but I cannot say, oh, it's true. It's nonsense. It could be nonsense, but yeah.
I also believe in στη μετασάρκωση. Δεν ξέρω πώς να το πω στα αγγλικά. Χωρίς να μπορώ να το αποδείξω. Γι' αυτό και το ρώτησα αυτό.
Yeah, because I think it's something that is a scientific way. I think that in the future, because in science you really need the equipment to weigh or to measure the intensity, whatever. There's always a tool, but how do you prove reincarnation? There's no tool. But I believe that in the future, there's with the revolution of science, from whatever nuclear physics to gravity or whatever, the science of the mind will be improved, and that could be, one of the ways to tap into this, whether it's something of non-existent or is exist. Yeah. But the idea is, I feel like it shows a lot about human desire to be connected and to want, to desire to remember. And that's the main thing. Yeah.
Να κάνω και κάποια ερώτηση. Κάποιος άλλος, ναι.
Καλησπέρα. Ήθελα να ρωτήσω, είχα δει προχθές τις ταινίες μικρού μήκους και μ' άρεσε πάρα πολύ ο ύμνος. Οι φωτεινοί άνθρωποι, τι θέλατε να δείξετε με αυτή την ταινία? Δεν το κατάλαβα γι' αυτό.
Yes, the luminous people is, for me, is I want to show the one of the memory, to reconstruct the memory of my dad when he passed away, and that there's a ceremony about 1 year later when we cremate him, and then we put his ashes onto the river. And for me, several years later, I came back to that river with my crew member, and we simulate from my memory the ritual. The monks were fake in that movie, so everything is about movie making, about family. That I think I have not only the real family, but I also have a family of filmmaking crew. Yeah, so I want to do that, and also that river, and it's like we journey to this memory, and also it's a border between two countries, between Thai and Laos, and also that I imagine about also the border, about the life and death, that we sending him out of that. Yeah.
Θα ήθελα να ρωτήσω αν η λογοκρισία επηρεάσει το τελικό αποτέλεσμα της δουλειάς σας, αν βγήκε κάτι άλλο εκτός από αυτό που θέλατε.
Not yet, because when it happened to me, my film was always submitted by a studio, because there's some studio involvement, but for Syndrome and a Century in 2006, it was the first time that I submitted by myself independently, and that's a problem, one of the problems. So because also Thailand is a very, let's say, frankly corrupt country. So when you go in as an outsider, they want to, to crush you in some way. So I show that film. Actually, I show Syndrome and Century in the mutilated form. I cut the scene that they didn't want to see, and I show it in theater, in one theater, and I put the blackness in the scene that were cut out. So some scene is as long as 5 minutes. So the audience sit in the dark, throughout the film, from time to time. And for me, but we tell the audience before that this is not a film. This is a protest. And in front of the theater, there's a board. There's a lot of board saying history of censorship in Thailand. So people went to see the movie and also get educated about how the movie has been cut. Even Hollywood movies are censored, cut, without their knowing, because the people feel that, oh, it's very smooth, but in fact it's cut. Some scenes were cut out. So there's an awareness, doing that, and also I made a lot of seminar. So there's a pressure to the government, and then the laws change. Now to the Ministry of Culture, then we have a rating system, but still they still ban movie. Lately they banned a movie about transsexual, which the filmmaker also fighting. And for me, but somehow I didn't think of censor myself. I mean, my problem is about how to express this politically, in a political way. That I believe movie is not like book. When you read a book, it's you get certain feeling, but movie have to bring another feeling, and that there's a lot of text already about political issue or many taboos in Thailand. So for me, it's a challenge to do a political film, not like a book. So I think I'm still trying to find my way. Yeah. So but it's not the issue of censorship or self-censor. Anyway, it's about re-educate myself about actually the history of Thailand. Because when we were in school, we've been taught in a very limited way, very narrow way of certain kind of history been erased from the textbook. Yeah. So now with the internet and with access to banned books, so we got a lot of chance with young people to learn the history ourselves, in a different way. Yeah.